The fighting for the key city of Bakhmut in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region has seen some of the fiercest invasion battles. Bakhmut is Russia's main objective, and his capture would give him a new foothold in the Donetsk region and a rare victory after months of decline. The Russian offensive on Bakhmut was spearheaded by mercenaries from Wagner's group and had recently made small gains in nearby villages. Russia will claim to have taken Bakhmut on the one-year anniversary of the invasion, regardless of the realities on the ground. Russia will claim to have taken Bakhmut in line with its invasion anniversary, regardless of the reality on the ground, according to the UK Ministry of Defence. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine stated in its latest summary that the Russian invaders continue to carry out offensive operations, including in the Shakhtarsky-Vuhledarsky direction in the Donetsk region. In this area, the enemy conducted artillery shelling on the residential areas of Bogoyevlenka, Velika Novosilka, Zolotyn-Niva, Vuhledar, and Neskutny. In turn, the Telegram channel Donbas operative said that the armed forces of Ukraine had advanced in the southern Dacha area near Vuhledar and were continuing assault operations there. In the last 24 hours, soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine arrested 3 Russian occupiers. This was announced by the Telegram channel Donbas operative by publishing a corresponding video. Video captured in the trenches by one of our defenders. The invaders came out of the trenches unarmed and surrounded by our soldiers, 2 of which assisted the 3rd, wounded in the head. It can be assumed that the Ukrainian fighters captured these enemy positions. It is unlikely that these intruders jumped into our trenches and then surrendered. Meanwhile, trench warfare, relentless artillery, gains measured to mere yards, and heavy casualties on both sides. The Ukrainian battlefield is similar to World War I, but with a new and terrifying reality with incessant drones, a perpetual harbinger of death and destruction watching from above. Both Ukraine and Russia have used drones of all shapes and sizes to spy on each other and attack targets on a scale never seen before, and this is changing the face of warfare. Drones are used to locate enemy positions and direct fire, crash into, and destroy buildings in kamikaze attacks, and drop bombs on tanks. Recently emerged a video posted in mid-February by a Ukrainian soldier to TikTok reveals the grisly reality of defending trenches in a bullet-riddled battlefield at close range. Combat became deadlier when every soldier carried automatic weapons instead of the bolt-action rifles common during World War I. Ukrainian soldiers posting under the handle Lost Generations are known to be members of the 22nd Separate Mechanized Battalion of the 92nd Mechanized Infantry Brigade, a formation highly active in the defense of northeastern Ukraine, most of which famously liberated Balaklia and Kupiansk during a counteroffensive. Using a Gopro camera mounted to the side of his helmet, he recorded 5 minutes of non-stop fighting, frantically defending his trenches against advancing Russian infantry and armor. He could be over his head panting as he wandered back and forth along the trenches to guard his flanks and avoid staying too long in one firing position. The trench itself was well constructed with bends to accommodate an explosion if a shell or grenade landed in it. Leaves and thorns lined the lip of the ditch to obscure its contours to attackers. The attacking Russians are supported by BTR-82 armored personnel carriers, their heavy machine guns continuously blaring in short bursts throughout the first minute of the video, trying to suppress the hidden Ukrainian troops so the Russian infantry on foot can take the trenches. The majority of soldiers killed and wounded in Ukraine fell victim to artillery they could not see coming. Sometimes the immense volume of fire could force a demoralized troop to retreat without close combat, allowing the field to be occupied at little cost. But taking an actively defended entrenched/fortified position requires numbers, courage, skill, and a lot of firepower. As this video demonstrates, situational awareness on such a fragmented battlefield is a matter of life and death. None of the Russian infantry hit by the camera carriers realized their position. Another Gopro close combat video published on social media shows a Russian soldier creeping up behind two Ukrainian infantrymen in a foxhole facing him. Above all, it underscores how Putin's unprovoked invasion has recreated tortured battlefield conditions on a scale not seen in Europe since the World Wars. A conflict fought increasingly by conscript soldiers, many with limited training. Some defended their homeland from invasion. Others were forced to try to fulfill the conquest ambitions of a discredited dictator. Meanwhile, world attention is focused on the town of Bakhmut as the epicenter of the conflict in Ukraine, as fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces is also ongoing elsewhere. The areas south and west of the city of Donetsk, in particular the towns of Krasnohorivka and Vuhledar, have seen fighting largely a punishing mix of trench warfare and long-range rocket fire as each side probed for weaknesses. Progress here for Russia is critical if they are to realize President Vladimir Putin's goal of winning the entire Donetsk region. Snow made it difficult for the Russians to camouflage their vehicles, and visibility was poor. About a kilometer on Wednesday as snow fell, hampering drone surveillance and targeting for both sides. Logistics, such as supplying the front lines, were easier when the ground froze. A Ukrainian officer told CNN that Chechen fighters had penetrated a minefield littering no man's land and attacking Ukrainian trenches. They wounded one soldier and captured another, but strayed through a minefield on their way back and were killed. Most of these efforts were carried out by small groups of saboteurs at night, he said, when fighting tends to be more intense.